So, the last time on Aldgate Adventures, who remembers?
Ismit's very no good, rotten, awful, bad day.
Oh my god, the worst.
Yeah. So,
Do you ever wish you could change your fate?
So the last week we did not get a whole lot done. But what did happen was that we talked with I just really remember mostly like with Kismet having her conversation with Autumn Daddy. And then the rest of us were like getting breakfast. It was like the most eventful breakfast ever because all of a sudden Alard's sister is it your sister pops in?
Yep.
And she's like, oh hey, you guys are here, good, y'all gotta come with me because you're needed. And we're like, oh shit.
Well, let's not forget she was there because Eliza used her stone to tell Alard exactly where we were because she wanted him to use Marie to take her mother to safety. And she showed up and was like, oh yeah, by the way, ha ha ha, I'm not here for her. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to come talk to the king.
Bitch.
Yeah,
Wow.
which Eliza translated as you need to stand trial. And that is all she has communicated to the rest of us.
Is that we have to go
Marie told her the
all.
king wants to talk to us. Eliza told us we need to stand trial.
Yes.
so Willow is preparing for trial.
Isn't
Everyone
that the same
is.
thing? Is it not?
Everyone
I'm not.
is.
Orloc's like, no, I'm not. No.
I go where she goes.
Well, no, we're going. Clearly, we're
He's
going.
ready to commit.
Clearly, we're going, but we won't be on trial at that point.
Do Drakens typically commit this quickly?
Yeah,
Well,
but also,
spoiler.
like, in
We're
the
very
same
young people.
moment, we headed back to the Grand Pavilion Music Hall to check on things, because I thought Autumn Daddy was gonna, like, follow me, and then he didn't, and I was like, cool, except for it wasn't cool, because
We saw a fire.
and it was on fire.
Only a little.
There was a fire elemental, and I was gonna hit it, except Willow fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It was hurting you and your friends, so
Yeah, not great. Went inside. Frill was strung up with like thorny vines and things, and we like barely saved her life. And she told me that he took them. All of them. Erin, Shonen, Tasman, Marion. All of them. And now we're stuck between two calls to the king and to my semi-known, semi-unknown Fey heritage.
Yes.
Now we're all up to date.
Not at all complicated. Not gonna be a problem. I bet we're gonna handle it.
So you're
all
saying that, and Orloc's like making a
swimmingly.
chart.
Yes.
To clarify, Ergun did ask Willow if Willow wanted Ergun to come along, and Willow said yes.
that was
Because he's a good boy.
Orlok, do you understand the situation at this point?
As much as I care to.
you know, that's about as much as we can ask for.
Agreed. Besides, I've never been to Highkeep. I hear the library is quite nice.
It is.
So
Very
you're
large.
inside a raging inferno
Hmm.
in the Grand Pavilion Music Hall with a half-dead
Fire.
fawn that you've healed up quite a bit, but she's
Yeah.
not used to
I think
recovery the way adventurers are. And
We said we had picked Prill up and we're running back out.
And you run out back onto the golden cobblestone streets, where there is a bucket line. Willow, didn't you do something about the fire? I want to say.
Yeah, I feel like we'll.
She created water.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
using my like control water spell to
Mm.
take care of that. We were
That's right.
also-
You like grabbed water out of one of the canals.
Yeah. I did, because I can do that.
Yeah, you kind of auto killed the elemental.
Pretty
Just
much.
kind
That's
Oh.
right. That's right.
Not my fault, he's made of fire. Should have thought of that before he showed up.
Yeah. Incidentally, makeup for everyone tonight is just on point. Especially Betty.
Made of fire.
As the flames start to douse, the whole place is not lost, but it is going to have to go through quite a few repairs. And you're out on the street. Giant crowd forming. See what's going on. What do you do?
So
I'm going. So, Kismet, are you carrying Prill? Are you the one carrying Prill? Yeah. Let's bring Prill over by where my mother is currently sitting, a block or two away from the fire. So I'm going to guide them towards where I've already found a little spot for safety.
Let's see if there's any more healing I can do for Prill.
You've got her up. She's just
He's
been
stable.
on fire and has been breathing smoke for a while. It's going to just take her a little while to recover.
Is Marie with us?
Yes.
she was helping to fight the fire a second ago, but she could be over here. So-
Kismet's just holding Prill and just stroking her head.
Eliza's got her hand on Kismet's shoulder.
Ergun's just gonna be looking out for new threats because it seems like everybody's out of the fire and he can't help with the fire.
So are we going to High Keep so you can be on trial, or dealing with this vague lord?
Marie, do we have that option?
You can do whatever you want. I can't make you come with me.
It's sort of. I look at Marie and
But
go,
there
I
may
go,
be consequences.
I mean, you could.
This is a decision that Orlac and I cannot be a part of.
Not technically true. We could be a part of it. We just probably shouldn't be.
You are
Marie, would you be willing to report back to the king that we are, I don't know, trying to close a gap between dimensions on our way to see him? And it is not that we are running from this meeting, but that there are some urgent needs that require us in the meanwhile.
Of course, we actually closed it already. We'd be actually making a new one to go after the Feylord.
Kismet, do you think the Feylord is allowing demons in through his realm? And I look at her like, say yes.
I don't know. Prill, you know more than we do. You've been there. I've said I'll be your champion, but I know next to nothing about anything Fae. I spent time in Eulorian's court, yes, but I'm fairly certain he kept me sheltered on purpose. We need your insight.
I have been freed from his control and pledge my allegiance to my queen.
Can we make another portal? Like, how
would we even get there?
can we get there? If we were to,
That is
I don't even know.
If I may, if the King of Highkeep has declared himself a force against the demon incursions, and we believe that the demons stem from the Autumn Lord, perhaps us getting the favor of this
I
king
mean,
would help
Harley, you
us.
must have seen something. If Lauren is allowing demons to pass through the Fey realm into these lands, you must have seen something. You must have heard something.
I haven't seen any demons. Some deep forests still have a thin connection with the Fey realm. I believe that's how you met him in the first place.
Yes.
However, with everything going on right now, he may be guarding, or at least has eyes on them. Maybe even closing the crossover spots.
If we go to the Fey realm, we're talking about taking on an entire realm.
Well, not exactly. The Fae are hardly unified, but a good portion of it, perhaps. Large duchy.
But they are under his control.
His particular territory, yes.
And some are not. There is, if Prill is to be believed, a faction of not unsizable nature that doesn't wish for Eulorian's rule. And that's the reason they contacted me.
When you say doesn't wish for his rule, is it don't wish for it? There might be a big difference between not wishing for someone's rule and having a bunch of mortals
It
descend upon them and
seems
hack
like
people to death.
Technically, by the book, I have a better claim to the throne than he does.
Interesting.
Perhaps a more prudent question would be, do you wish to take the throne?
No, but I know I don't want him to have it. He's not fit for that kind of power. He's not to be trusted with it. I was taken in under his spell for longer than I care to admit. He was charming and sweeter than you would probably imagine. But I've learned at least the beginnings of the truth, and I can't ignore it, and I can't ignore the darkness I've seen in him. That kind of being shouldn't be in charge of anything.
Mage de Longueville. You mentioned consequences. What sort of consequences are we talking about?
You're in deep water right now, but might be salvageable. deciding to
If we go,
ignore the king and take on another
Adventure.
yes, might infuriate the king.
if we go, if we
You're blowing
talk
him
to
off. Feel free to blow him off if you want to, but consequences. You've already blown him off enough.
Does
Make him angry.
Does time pass differently in the Fey realm?
Yes, but there's not necessarily any ledger by which you can measure what way that is gonna flow.
So we don't know if we were to go, if we would come back here, assuming we won. And didn't
It could be
die.
a few hours, a few weeks, a few months.
Would it not be a good idea to potentially gain the favor of the King of Highkeep to aid you in this plight of the Fey realm?
I think going from
We'd
being
say
on
that
the
would
river-
make him be on our side again.
Hey guys, let's make sure we don't talk over each other because recording.
It would be in his favor to be owed a favor by the Fae if he has any sort of ambitions against the demon realm. You just have to make it seem like it is to his benefit, not just simply your own.
Marie, what's his temperament? Where do we stand? What kind of room are we walking into if we come back with you now?
Well, you know, the king's reputation for being fair. But he asked for your return, and it's been a while, and he's feeling neglected. Like perhaps you're running from him. He is upset. You were his own personal bodyguard. And now he can't even get you to come home. He put all his faith in you.
We were going to try to get to Hallie before we went back. I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think delaying it is a good idea. Kismet, I don't think your friends are in danger of losing their lives. As long as he has them, he knows he'll have some sort of control over you. And that gives them a certain level of safety. And we have to decide. And I want you to know, I will go with you if you decide this. But we have to decide if going to the Fey realm now is worth us losing everything we've built here.
I want to go. For any of you was a musketeer of the king. Doolin picked me up out of unspeakable conditions. Something no child should be subjected to, but took me and trained me, and I'm not blind to that. I'm not immune to that. I know the oath I swore. I'm just I'm worried that my king won't see the choices I've made in service of him, as service to him. And we'll have to deal with it one way or another, so honestly, it might as well be now. Can't run from it. Don't want to. We had business to attend to, and we've attended to it. We have more business to deal with, but this is here. You're here, Marie. And she looks at the rest of them, particularly Willow and Eliza. I've nothing to hide. I made my decisions in best interest of my king. I learnt the power of the object I was meant to retrieve. And I don't know about you two, but whether or not Hallie had robbed me of the decision, I don't think that belongs in the hand of someone who would use it. It belongs in the hand of someone who would destroy it. And she looks at Orlok and sort of nods her head.
Eliza will take a step back.
And if my king can't see that, he's not the king I thought he was.
And with a salute, we'll say, Lieutenant Arturo.
We follow you.
Whether you are a lieutenant or someone's queen.
Does have a nice ring to it.
You're just a lieutenant? Interesting.
Lieutenant Queen.
Think. Ready? And she looks at Marie.
You able to bring all of us? And I look down at Prill and my mother standing with us. Goodness gracious, Marie. Sometimes it frightens me how strong you are.
It should.
There's no one better for it. Please don't kill me.
Make no promises. Did you have anything that you needed to take care of or anything that you need to grab before we leave?
All my life is in the Fey realm, and I can't go there until I've dealt with you and him.
Carrying everything I need to carry.
I don't recommend using the argument your whole life is in the Fey realm to the King of High
Yeah, I know you don't have
probably
anything
not
to
a great
hide, but we
argument.
might not want to bring up the whole you're a queen of another realm thing to the king.
I didn't plan on it, and I didn't think you would either.
Mum's the word.
Unless it comes up.
I probably should not say any.
Oh. Just
Alleged queen.
Alleged, potential.
Silence.
Potential great ally.
Exactly.
big
Okay,
brain.
guys.
Trying
Let's
to
go
find
grovel.
out where the demons might be passing through, somebody who could give you information. Not a bad deal.
I don't actually plan on groveling. It probably more of a respect for now.
I tend to think that silence gives opportunity for those to fear you.
Agree with Urger. Yeah. Perhaps the less you two say, the better. Simply observers, passengers on this particular trip.
And not to worry, if you're incarcerated, Mage de Longueville promised to show us around her laboratory, so we will have something to do.
Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that. I was really worried that
Good.
you would be bored.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Good to have.
So I'm
plans.
gonna lean over to Willow. Did I do that right? Was that sarcasm? Did I do the sarcasm right?
I caught it.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you did.
Oh my god. Alard's been trying to teach me that for forever.
He would be very.
It was quite good. The inflection, you really nailed it.
Great.
Marie says,
Awesome.
I'm so proud of you. You sarcasmed.
I understood subtext.
Willow puts down the sign she was holding.
Back in the bag of holding. Well, the street is bustling around you all with people who are fighting the remnants of the fire that you mostly put out for them. They're kind of giving you your space because you
Put out a fire.
Had a serious conversation.
you're looking like you're not very approachable at the moment. So
What? Approachable.
The Drake and our
super
illumin-
approachable.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's not like we look our best. Like we're probably covered with like soot and smoke and like covered with whatever elementals explode with. You know.
Oh, Kismet's nose is absolutely just like snotty and red,
Yeah.
and her whole face is just like a mess from like ugly crying. It's not pretty. Thank you.
There, there.
Okay, good.
Well, if you'd like to get cleaned up, you can wait that long.
Okay. Or do you think it will be a better presentation if we're like, we were in the middle of something?
Are you asking me?
I don't know. The group.
Yeah, we're asking you. You're the only one who's been around the court and the king and knows the read on the place, you know?
I mean, all we know is that.
Can I make a persuasion check?
For what?
To get her to be on our side a little bit, like give us a little inside info.
She has nothing to give you. She hasn't been in the court.
Oh, okay.
No, I've
She's
been-
like battling.
Technically,
I've been
I
working
unless-
with Avery and guiding people to where the demons are, scrying on where the demons are.
Technically, Eliza would be the one to know if it's better to appear before the king well dressed and well kept, or dirty.
I think if we, I don't know, I don't want to look too
Well put
nice
together.
and tidy. Like we've been fucking,
We've been in battle.
we've been in the shit like since Hallie left. We've not had like more than a few days peace. It's not like we've been lazing about and just deciding not to go back. We've had a string of incidents and battles and, you know, playing our shifts and things of importance that we had to deal with imminently. We weren't lollygagging about and putting on fancy airs. I think I'd rather go as I am.
And if we need, I have a lot of hats. I really need to work on this shopping addiction.
Ergun and I have court robes we could wear.
Okay.
For you two, maybe it might be good to dress up. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I think we go as we are. This is the truthful presentation. And we have no lies to give.
Except for that stuff we're not going to tell him. The Fae thing.
We wouldn't lie about that.
Apart
If
from
you
that.
ask me a direct question about it, I'll answer. But
Mhm.
I don't.
That has
necessarily
nothing to
think
do
it's
with the
gonna come up.
situation that he's upset about. Sort of.
At this point, I think Orlak sort of looks over at Marie and thinks, or she'll tell him.
Right.
Sure.
I've had that thought. Marie,
Hmm?
shall we go?
All right.
Suppose it's time.
She like pats her pockets and pulls out a piece of chalk, starts drawing on the ground, and all of the local residents kind of like move out of the way and out of the street. And she's like, "Excuse me, excuse me."
Or like walks up, or like looks over her shoulder to look at this symbol she's drawing. Oh, yeah.
Do you need to let them know we're coming?
Oh, they're expecting us.
Right.
Hey, Orlok, why can't you do this? This would have saved us a lot of time.
Mage de Longueville is much more powerful than I am.
What can I
That shut
say?
all of us up.
It is my blessing. It is my curse.
How long does it take her to do this?
A couple minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna check in with Adira.
Okay.
Are you ready to go back to High Keep? Face everyone?
I'm nervous about it.
Father will be there.
Really don't want to see him
Neither do I.
because aside from watching you, the other thing I've been doing is plotting his death.
Well, he won't do anything while we're at court, and you really shouldn't do anything while we're at court. And as soon as I'm able, I'm going to get you safe. You should go spend some time with the dwarves.
Hmm.
Not going to take you to the Fey realm with me.
Might want to spend some time on the Riviera instead of inside another cave.
That's fair. The dwarves were a good time.
Hmm.
They were my favorite place we stayed when I was young.
I think there's a group of them in Valentino these days, so as long as they're still there.
As long as you can be safe. One of the positives of you making sure that Father will never have any other children is that he is obsessive about making sure that his seed, as he refers to me, actually inherits his wealth. So while he may hate me, he will make sure I get all of his wealth and it goes to no one else. So thank you for castrating him. That was a wise choice. There was some suffering involved, but someday I will have a home in High Keep for you, and he will be gone.
That would be lovely.
It's very complicated because on one hand, I want it, and on the other hand, I hate him.
Hmm.
But I do wonder if we can get some sort of proof that he's the one who did this to you. I do wonder if the king would lend ear to that. He is a good king.
He
Or
is
he
a good
was.
king. Yes. All right. Good to
Can
go.
I hear, John? Can I hear this? Can Kismet hear this conversation?
I don't know. Eliza, can Kismet hear this conversation?
You guys just.
I'm not hiding it, so if she's listening, if she's trying to listen to it, she can.
Would I know if the what are their names? The Drow, the Inquisitors?
Mm-hmm.
Would I know if they keep records of things? Like if they're the ones that showed up and are like managers of this prison, like would I know if they keep some sort of like records like that?
You don't know, never knew about this prison, so you don't know if they keep records for it. And a lot of times with the people that they disappear, they want no trace, so they don't keep
Not
Like a
even
ledger.
internally. To be like, here's the record of our religious conquests for Celia.
Nothing with names.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Mm-hmm. Where he goes, okay, we're good to go. Everybody ready?
Let's go.
I am ready.
And she says a few magic words, and
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
the runes that she inscribed on the yellow brick road light up. Everyone, all the citizens are like, oh, and kind of back away.
If Warlock was a different person, he'd go, yeah, magic, bitches! But that's not what he says.
But that's what he feels inside.
Inside, yeah, and he kind of smiles.
And there's blinding white light as you feel stretched and pushed, and wind rushing past your ears, and then you come to a halt. You're inside a room with much like these backgrounds, made of brick with large reinforced wooden doors, and 5 guards inside, including a captain. Ah, so you've returned. Come.
Is it Doolin or
No,
different captain? Okay. You
Just-
said the
Doolin's
captain.
retired.
so-
he's a captain.
A captain.
They don't,
Captain
they
of
don't,
the guard.
they don't take any notice of the two dragons standing there.
Tired. That's
Yeah.
why I
Are
got
the Draken?
promoted.
Are they back to potato form, or are they
Nope.
still Draken? They're still
No,
Draken.
we're showing ourselves.
Okay.
Probably better that way.
Actually, yeah, aren't I a captain, not a lieutenant? I was a lieutenant under Doolin.
So then you would be captain.
I'm captain. I got promoted when he got retired.
Well, then I
You-
saluted and said captain because I would know that.
Yeah. I mean, it does. I don't know if it matters, but I just thought of that just now.
It's
Is
still
I remember I'm a captain now.
Okay.
I am the captain.
It's probably a problem. It's probably not a great thing to be the captain of the musketeers that disappeared.
the Disketeers.
But yeah. But yeah,
Disappeared.
I think I am.
We should probably follow this guard.
Yeah, no, but you're actually right how they kind of like they're holding halberds and kind of like you've brought Raken with you.
They're
Really? Where?
allies.
They're allies.
They are helping to fight against the demon incursion. They've been extremely helpful to us in our efforts against the demons.
We'll talk to the Lord Chamberlain. Follow me.
We vouch for them.
As
He's
you say
already
that,
walking away.
you say that, and I kind of lean down to Kismet and say, considering your current political turmoil, perhaps you shouldn't help us.
Considering that's your view, perhaps you shouldn't have come.
Go where he goes. And I point at Argoon.
Ergun's following Willow.
Hope I didn't get you guys into big trouble just now.
Kismet just sort of like cricks her neck and follows after Willow.
I'm gonna come up in the back, and I'm gonna look down and be like, they left behind Prill, so I'm gonna pick up the fawn, walk slowly with my mother.
I did not leave behind Krill.
I know you would have taken Prill. I'm teasing.
She doesn't need to be carried. She's
No.
just very very wounded,
Mm-hmm.
but she can
She
move.
can walk. Okay.
Mhm.
I look at Marie and say, perhaps there's some infirmary that.
Yeah, you can ask the Lord Chamberlain.
Hmm. Is Marie leaving?
She's coming with you guys.
Oh,
We
continue to natter about magical shit.
yeah. Magic Bros.
Hello.
Hello?
My landlord just shut up. Hold. Please hold.
No worries. I'm gonna take a little bio break really quick.
I am
Let the dog out.
looking up.
Cool.
What is the name of
Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Lord Chamberlain?
Is there a way on D&D Beyond to, since you're more knowledgeable with it than I am, to edit a class feature? Let's say, for instance, that I'm specifically trying, like, Ranger has like a fighting proficiency or the fighting style, and I want to add a fighting style that's not in its normal list.
You can add a custom class feature. It's a little involved. Basically, you would go to Homebrew and you can basically add it that way.
Do I have to like create? Is that like a subclass thing that I have to do? Because like it says like when I create Homebrew creations, there's background, feat, magic item.
You would do
monster.
subclass.
Okay.
The thing to do, well, yeah. You could do it two different ways. You could either do subclass, and you basically would take the subclass you currently are, and then do a custom version of it, and replace that fighting style with something else.
But the fighting style is baked into the Ranger class, not the subclass.
What are you trying to add?
I'm trying to add great weapon fighting to Ranger because right now I'm using a feat. Yeah, I'm using a feat to get it, and I want to free up that feat to get dragon skin, the dragon skin feat.
John's like said you could switch it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I would undo the feat. Actually, no, don't undo the feat. Basically, just take dragon skin, add the dragon skin feat, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but then I don't get great weapon fighting.
Well, no, you add great weapon fighting as a feat.
How do I do that?
So, I believe there already is one. So
right now I'm using a feat right now I am using a feat to get great weapon fighting.
Right, you want to add the other one.
Basically, my goal is to get great weapon fighting
and
without using a feat.
Right. So here's what you do. Go to in your character sheet. Go to features and traits.
Mm-hmm.
Go to feats, and then it says manage feats. So click on that.
Yeah.
And you can add the dragon skin one.
Oh, okay.
Because really, what you're doing, you're doing it through the weapon style, but in effect, you're getting a bonus feat because you're sort of throwing great weapon into it. But it's just much easier to add it as a feat.
Yeah, but then can I deselect the fighting style that I get originally as a ranger?
Well, no, because the fighting style that option was when you would have picked great weapon fighting.
Right. So I'm basically what you're saying is that to make this happen, I have to give myself a free feat.
Yeah. Well, it's not really free because John's letting you do it.
Right.
What was the one you took originally?
So I took fighting initiate to get great weapon fighting.
No. I mean, what was the selection you took to get?
Defense. The idea being is that I can move some.
So what you can do is you can go back, you hit the anvil thing, and go back into where you do leveling up stuff.
Yep.
Then go to where you made that selection for that fighting style, and don't select anything.
It will let me do that.
Yeah. You can choose to select nothing. And it'll be an open ticket thing. Like you'll probably, at some point there might be a little thing saying, "Hey, you're supposed to pick this thing," but
Mhm.
and then just give yourself a free feat.
Oh, it's not letting me choose this feat. Maybe I don't.
Which feat is it?
I wonder if it's just in a compendium that I don't own. I think it's called Dragonhide.
No, I think that it's
It's in Xanathar's.
Xanathar's. But you should have access to it if John.
Yeah.
has access to it.
I do, but when I go to the manage feats thing, when it lists all the feats I can add, it doesn't include, like, that one doesn't show up for whatever reason.
Weird. Mine does.
Yeah, but you probably also owned that.
Yeah, I
though.
probably own that book. Hang on. Let me. If I can get. Oh, no, I can't get it to there. The other thing you can do is go back to where you did Fighting Initiate and see if you can add it there, the Dragonhide one.
Sure.
And then try to add the Great Weapon Fighting as a side feat.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't show up. So it must be that for whatever reason it doesn't want to let me. It's okay. I'll figure it out later. I just figured that if there's going to be time that I'm not going to have armor, I should have that. We'll figure it out later. It's fine. If I have to spend $30 to get Xanathar's on digitally, that's no big deal.
It should be. I mean, because we're playing in John's campaign, it should list it, but it's weird.
Unless John doesn't have Xanathar's.
If any of us have Xanathar's, it should share it. And I'm pretty sure I do.
Someone does because it shows up on mine.
Yeah, I mean,
It's funny because I own Xanathar's, like the actual book, but I don't have the digital version.
Hmm.
I wonder if there's a code if you own it in person, if you can get it on your.
No.
There's not. You think?
Here, wait. Try it now, because I just did share content.
I'll refresh.
See if that made it go.
Well, sorry about that.
Yeah, I got it.
Landlord's just here to talk to my roommate, but then I had to switch my laundry. So
Aha, that's fair.
All is well. So
I figured while we were all peeing, that was the perfect time.
And I
Alright,
grabbed
so
a heater so that I can still wear this shirt because I want to.
So we follow the dude.
Follow the dude.
Yeah.
And I just posted the link to the website where we can read about people like the Lord Chamberlain, who I am remembering now as a sourpuss.
Oh, is he? Great.
He might be dead.
Okay.
What'd you post it?
I just posted it in the chat in here.
Oh,
Oh, great. Sorry, I looked in the
Good
Discord.
chat.
What's the name of the Chamberlain again, or the Chancellor? Person we're meeting with.
the Lord Chamberlain,
Yeah,
Sir Marsilio Villari.
Villari.
yeah, he's not on here. Oh no, there he is. He's small picture.
There's some weird
Paginations.
WordPress is problematic, and not in that it got me too, and just in that it's
Oh yeah, that guy.
outdated.
He was grouchy.
So Sir
had-
Basil Kirby is no more, and now it's Allard instead.
you don't know.
Okay, but that's like sort of maybe kind of a little bit the vibe we get.
Well, that's the vibe you as a player know versus you as a character.
And unless Allard told you that,
You probably
you
did.
would have no idea.
I mean, he said that Kirby was dead and then it was all demons.
Well, there you go.
But you don't know
And
who replaced him.
I don't know. I remember him saying something about not needing to ask somebody about those kind of decisions anymore. You know what I mean? Like it was an inferred kind of power moment. But
That was his whole "I'm High Justicar of the realm," and
Yeah. So like there was an inferred kind of information there.
I mean, I don't think
Just a little bit.
he was implying that he had a very high rank and position, but he was
Right. No, we don't know what. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that like there's an inkling of something in terms of like
I mean-
Allard has simply in some way moved up in the hierarchy.
Yeah,
don't-
but yeah, you wouldn't necessarily know. You would know that Kirby's dead, but you don't know who replaced him.
Right.
Cool.
Well, and we separately know that Allard has in some way moved up in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
That worked, Brian, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Side note, scrolling down, Alessandro de Piero, however you pronounce that. He pretty.
Alessandro Di Piero.
Piero.
Yeah, he's like the Da Vinci of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And he's a little crazy.
Right.
Da Vinci, if he were a little more of an architect.
No, he's an artificer, not an architect.
I know, I'm just saying translating in our world. It's like Da Vinci was a painter. Artificers like make things that are useful, not things that are just like art, right?
I mean,
Vinci was
Da Vinci-
also an inventor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vinci did a lot.
Helicopters, tanks, the whole thing.
Okay, here we
The
are.
base concepts for all those things, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Off the record. My landlord. I hope you can all hear me. I'm in your ears.
Yeah.
Fancies himself a filmmaker. And
Well, that's always the best.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, we should talk about it. I'm like, I do not want to work with you.
Not with our landlord.
Yeah, that's awkward.
He's
Yeah.
crazy as a landlord. I can't imagine as a producer.
Well, he might have a lot of money, so.
Yeah, but
No.
need these things.
But at what cost?
Basically.
Yeah. Not very good trade-off.
All right, so we're walking with
Walking?
guard guy.
We're walking. Yeah, the guards are walking you through the halls toward the throne room. You've been in this area before in game. I mean, those of you who are from here. I think you've shown up in this little teleport room before, and walking through some familiar places, you can see that there are signs of battle inside the castle. Some familiar like cuts in the walls, some
Some
things
of
that-
them are mine.
most of them are Allard's, because these weren't here before when you left. Last time you were in the castle, they were not here.
There's been some battle here, is what you're saying.
There's even some stains, some scorch marks that have yet to be cleared up.
I think Orlac stops at one of those and looks at it for a second, and like runs his claw across it, and like kind of does one of these things, and then I catch up to the others and go, demons
Sulfur.
In the
Um,
castle?
in the castle.
And
Someone
didn't
fought
Allard
them in
say
the
that
halls.
there was a battle here?
Depends.
And the vibe that you usually get when you come here is high elegance, and just, things are friggin' nice. This is like the White Lotus of Highkeep. And, less ketamine.
Is that a good show?
Fuck, it's so good.
Okay.
I've been saving season 2 until I can really sit down and commit to it. Yeah, you're used to seeing people in all of their fineries and everything, and now you see people are in armor, even if it's just ceremonial. You feel like there's been a major shift in tone at this place from, kind of the beacon of light of the world to a world at war. or a country at war. And then you see kind of where the doors to the throne room are. You can see that there's a group of people there, and amongst them is the 5'6" figure of Marsilio Villari, just speaking in Valentian, and yelling at some people and commanding servants things to do and everything. And he looks over, hearing you coming, and says, you have arrived, you have arrived. He walks over and says, oh, look at you, you are a mess, you are a mess. The king is not ready for you, and you are not ready for the king. Come, follow me.
Does he even take note of the Draken?
He doesn't mention them.
Mm-hmm.
I felt ready, but fine.
I guess
We've
Yes, we
been
follow him?
otherwise engaged. We didn't have time to.
Yes, excuses. Come. We'll get you cleaned up so you are befitting the audience of our king.
Good thing I brought my scale polish.
And he takes you to,
We know this person, right?
Mhm.
yes,
We know
Mhm.
him.
Can I lean in and just say, like, part of the urgency of our arrival and the manner of our arrival is part of which what we wish to convey to the king.
he turns around, stops,
We've not
and
had
says,
time.
that is none of
for-
my concern. My concern is that you don't look like a fucking pig when you go in to see the king. So, follow me, we will get you cleaned up, and then you can see the king. You are not fit to
Even
into the
try.
throne room right now, and believe me, the last thing you want to do is make him madder than he
Okay,
is.
okay.
right.
We're going.
I don't look anything like a pig.
Flings his bald
I
head
don't even have
around
scales.
and takes you to this is actually a spot you've been in before. It's like a little green room where people go.
It's a spot I hate.
Yeah, and you know that there's going to be servants who come in with bowls of water, and sure enough, he puts you into this room, and it's nice. It's got couches and basins and everything. And shortly afterwards, he's like, "Go!" and claps his hands, and people come in with steaming pitchers of water and start filling things up. And there's a couple people who show up with sewing kits, and just want to make sure that you're nice and polished and befitting a king.
I will open up our. Why do I always forget what
They
it's
all stay away from Aragoon and Orlac, though.
called?
Fair.
Not the bag of holding. What is it called? Help me out.
Portable hole.
Thank you. I will open up the portable hole where we have all of the things we've bought recently. So there's a selection of clothing. And clothing that we've worn before when visiting the king.
I imagine Eliza tosses up an outfit for Kismet.
You were wearing the.
Kismet, put this
She
on.
begrudgingly puts it on and in doing so pushes the attendants towards Prill and is just like, get them something. I'm fine. I've got the outfit. We're good.
Prill just kind of like curls up on one of the couches and starts going to sleep.
John, the colors of Imperial are gold and purple. We haven't figured that out, so we'll say that is for now.
In some way, I think the outfit that Eliza would be suggesting for everyone is going to at least mirror that of the guard to show that we are still Like it's
Yeah.
not going to be our uniform, but it will mirror the uniform.
I'm
Musketeer
assuming
colors.
that at some point in the past, they had to drag Kismet around and get her some like Sing the King duds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
So you
Oh,
have your,
yeah.
I had a blast.
Is the
your court clothes.
is Sir Valari still there?
Hated it.
Now he fucks off as soon as he gets you in there.
Okay.
Shit to do.
If there's a specific person, like an attendant that's there, I'd like to go up to them and ask, I wish to respect your authority here. Would it be allowed for myself to continue to wear my armor?
Oh, yes, we allow any guests to wear the garb of wherever they have come from. That is quite all right. Any of your traditional clothing it'll do.
So Orlac pulls out these 2 tabards from his bag, and they're like the most like imagine like super ornate like priestly tabards, like in like they're like gold and like and like silk embroidered out that wazoo. These are like the official gatekeeper like robes. And
I like to,
Orlac Ergun his, and he puts his on.
I like to think that the way that it waves, you can almost see a little bit of like the cosmos kind of thing, where it like almost like there's a little bit of something in it. Like it almost looks magical. Maybe it's not. You're not quite sure, but who knows?
Yeah.
Willow. Ergun looks quite handsome in that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The wind is blowing his scales.
Like wind chimes.
There's
Well,
no
like,
windows in the room.
Orlac
but
takes out some
somehow-
glue and he's gluing the scales back on. Yeah, they shouldn't do that.
The gust cantrip.
Yeah. Oh man, Allard should have had that one.
Right?
I mean, he did have the cloak that just billowed.
Cloak of billowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's good enough.
I guess the Drakens don their stuff and they'll make their way back over to the women. We are ready to face the king.
It's all ever be.
So honestly, I'm not sure if we're supposed to stand with you or stand to one side because I mean we're not technically in trouble with the king.
I think
We
that
are
I think
with you,
that
though.
will depend on what the Chamberlain
Sure.
wants us to do.
We know.
Yes. We'll take our cues from the court protocol, as is appropriate.
We'll either be in the crowd or with us, and we hope with us.
Unless there's
Oh
punishment.
my, don't you all look wonderful? Hello, Eliza.
Hello, Sir Vera
Kismet.
Valari.
Willow. It's not
Hi.
Valari.
Oh, it's not Valari. Who is it?
Celine.
What?
Celine.
Oh,
God. Hey, girl.
And you can see that she's got a big bump in her stomach.
Mm.
If Willow
So
was
that was not Ergun, that was
is
just
that
me.
That was just Ben.
Or like looks over and says, "Lady Celine, it's been quite a long time."
know her?
Oh my god. Oh, like Ergun.
Ergun. Yes.
Ergun. Right.
We have encountered each other at court in Imperia before.
You look
Pregnant.
healthy, glowing, just glowing.
Well, thank you. I like to keep looking good.
I am, well, I guess I'm not surprised to see you here. Are you resting? During your illness? I mean, pregnancy.
Well, there became a moment where Allard and I decided that I should return and take care of things here, so that our son doesn't get injured.
So it's a boy.
That's what the witches say.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Allard.
Must be so excited.
You must be so excited to be back home after so very long.
Thrilled.
Yes, and it must be so strange for you to be bringing a child into a world that is so foreign to you.
I'm a woman of the world. I've been all over. I know many, many languages.
Well, I suppose our
And
for
languages are exactly the same as culture.
It's good for our boy to be learning where he's going to live. And then he will also get to know the culture in Imperia as well.
Children are indeed a blessing.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I hope your
However.
spawn grows strong and surpasses you.
Yes.
She kind of laughs. Thank you.
Out of character. Kismet is so conflicted right now.
I know we can't kill her. She has a large baby. Also,
I mean, I imagine.
stupid is a lard. So dumb.
Oh my god.
Oh, men.
Yeah!
I imagine that Ergun and Orlak probably encountered Celine in Empyrean court at some point.
Oh yeah.
Like we run in different circles, but we might have encountered her there at some point.
He didn't tell us she was pregnant, did he?
No, she did. Remember when she
Yeah.
had
That's right.
the message came in and she's
Yeah.
like,
Still like forgot.
I only know that
But it's
because
still
I was as
different
surprised
to
as you
see
guys
it
were.
in person. It's still different to see it in person. Fuck that. Ah!
Ah. I'm gonna lean over to Kismet and be like, "We may have made the wrong decision. If we had followed Allard, this might not have happened." As quietly as I can, where Celine cannot hear me.
Have you decided on names? I'm told that's very important.
Kismet whispers back, if you think you are going to stop this from happening, you're a fool.
My wife, the general, picked the names, and she told me what they were, and I was compelled to agree.
Checks out. She's an intimidating Draken.
Indeed. That's why she's so very attractive.
Celine, I wish this child all of the health in the world, whatever its name may be. And I also
Orlak is a very
I
nice
look
name.
forward to watching you raise a child with the personality of yourself and Allard. At the very least, it will be enjoyable to see what this will become. This is Eliza trying to be nice because
Throwing shade! Shade everywhere!
shade. Because at the very least, this is a large child, and that means a lot to Eliza.
I think Allard might want to tell you the name himself, and I would hate to deny him that pleasure.
I will ask him then.
Somehow I doubt it's Orlak.
Sorry, did I say Orlak?
No. Orlak's saying somehow he doubts the
Oh.
name's going to be Orlak.
Oh.
I wish it was. It's a good name.
It is. Proud heritage, that name.
I will be surprised if it is not Gregory.
Well, I will leave you to it.
Did
Good
you know
luck.
Gregory?
I did.
We'll miss him.
This is the paladin brother that you mentioned?
Yes,
Ah, the dead
he
one.
was something.
Well, must go. Things to do.
Yes,
Ta, good luck.
Lady Celine.
do stay alive.
Orlak. gatekeepers.
And don't break his heart.
She and leaves the room.
Or like looks over at Eliza, the dead paladin, the one you had relations with.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And now I have a girlfriend. And I walk away.
I'm failed to see the connection.
Speaking of my girlfriend, I wonder if she's here.
Isn't she at our
She's at our
house-
keep.
our
Yeah.
place that isn't our place, but kind of is our place?
Yes.
John, I'm going to send you a note real quick.
She's at our
You
keep,
probably knew that, but just sending it to you anyway.
but she is aware of what's going on at High Keep. Because she's not part of High Keep.
Mhm.
She's from the neighboring kingdom.
The Midlands.
No, she's from the because
Not from-
we found her in the very first prison. She was the mage of that prison, so I had assumed she's not from High Keep.
She was like.
Although
kind
that
of-
prison was
Ghislaine. That she's from Ghislaine in High
Ghislaine,
Keep,
yes.
It's a
yes.
province of High Keep.
Oh, okay. Got it.
or at least she was working for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Duke of Ghislaine.
Prenzlau.
Prenzlau.
Wow. Whew.
I found out that there's like a whole Napoleonic War in a town called Prenzlau. Well,
Also,
Perfect.
I forgot that Mina was like that old of a reference in our world game.
Mm-hmm.
She showed up. She showed up
I
right at the
forgot-
beginning, and then she went
I
away for a long
forgot.
time, and then she came back.
Yeah, but I completely forgot that she was that old in our world.
mhm.
Yeah, no, she was from like game 5.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that was very early.
Yeah.
Especially considering we spent the first 2 games just walking through the woods,
Possession at first sight.
talking about bears. Anyway,
What a time.
So the servants are kind of, washing you up and straightening you up and helping kind of dress you and get you ready.
Kismet's slightly resisting, but begrudgingly allowing them to do so.
or
and,
like, it's like, yes, polish my skills. It is my due.
Fucking nerd.
Ergun feels very awkward doing this.
And as this kind of hubbub is going on around you, there's people out in the hallway. There's a bunch of kind of to do, and you hear at the doorway this you turn to look. You see in a nice doublet and cape, nice rapier, tall boots, ready for battle or to see the king. Doolin. Now, Lord Doolin. So you've finally come in return, have you? Must say, I'm disappointed. And as he walks into the room, he turns to Eliza and Willow, almost turning his back on you, Kismet. I vouched for you. I brought you to the king and personally said that you would be devoted to him. He took my recommendation, and your actions have reflected on me very poorly. You've let me down, all of you. I suggest when you go in there, You keep your mouth shut. You take your medicine. Don't even tell him what happened. You leave your fucking attitudes at the door. Because right now, and he turns around, fully turns his back to you, Kismet, and walks out the door.
Seems the narrative's been set before we had a chance to speak.
And that was.
It doesn't matter right now.
We're fucked. Right.
And the head dresser, a gnomish woman, walks out of the room and comes back with Sir Marsilio. Says, look much better. The king will see you now. You two, the big ones.
Yes.
You can come in, but you'll stand at the back, okay?
Very well.
Thank you. And he walks you all out. And as he's walking you out, you can see that there's... Yes?
Before we leave the room, I want to stop Willow at the door frame. A life lived in virtue is a good one. Do not let the king try to tell you otherwise.
Orlac is like passing by, like at that moment he goes, but don't say anything that's going to get yourself killed. keeps going.
It would probably get me killed too.
Thank you for being here. Not easy knowing how many people I've disappointed already.
I am not one of them.
You were too kind.
Simply kind enough.
I hug him.
And he leads you to the door to the throne room.
Question, where are Prill and Adira?
Guys, I'm so sorry. I have to pop out really quick. I have a family emergency little moment. I should be back soon. I'm
Yeah,
so
it's fine.
sorry.
We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah.
So, Marsilio, or no, wait. Yeah, Marsilio Villard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Le Chateau.
Fancy man who
Lord
got
Chamberlain walks you over to the giant golden inlaid double doors that you passed through many times, and it appears that there are a lot of people around, some familiar faces, some musketeers you recognize even are there kind of watching you as you are led to these doors.
Where in the line are Prill and Adira?
Oh, that's right.
Are they with Orlac and Ergun?
Were they left behind so they could be tended to by, like...
Yeah.
Or no, actually, Mom probably should be there. I don't know.
Mom should be there.
Yeah, Mom is in the back
Okay.
and just kind of grabs you by your hand. Prill pretty much fell asleep immediately on the couch, and somebody put a blanket over her, and
We'll let her stay.
and your mother leans over and in your ear, just so only you can hear it, says, "You're the strongest woman I've ever known."
I squeeze
Stay
her
strong.
hand. I squeeze her hand and stand up tall, and then walk forward like the soldier I am.
And 2 guards reach over and grab the giant rings on the door and open it up. And the Lord Chamberlain takes a couple of steps inside and says, presenting Willow Hickling, Kismet Arturo, and Lady Eliza Northwood. But only in his accent. And steps to the side. It's a long room with a big red carpet. Very ornate, leading up to the far side of the room where there's a few stairs, and the king sits there on a throne with the queen next to him. General Vasquez stands there. Simon Fitzsimmons. Salvador de Brava, the high priest. Avery Hemlock. And as you walk forward, you see the sides are lined with other noble folk. And you see Eliza, your father, in all fine regalia with the most ornate breastplate and gorget, and this big chain of state with all painted and inlaid. And he looks down his nose at you and suddenly sees your mother.
Mm-hmm.
For just a moment, there's a flash of recognition.
Mm.
But you don't have time to stop.
No.
Argoon and I sort of go off to the side.
Mhm.
I kind of pull Argoon and like, let's find someplace to watch.
No, we don't want to like stay behind them.
Yeah, they told us not to. So like, as soon as we go in the room, I grab your arm and I go, we have to go over here.
Hmm.
You walk to the front of the room where it is expected for you to kneel.
I do so.
I follow suit.
Eliza?
I kneel.
Okay. Rise. Well, they have returned. I'm disappointed. You all had my faith. Plucked you myself from our ranks after each one of you proved yourself to be worthy of my personal bodyguard. Investigators of the realm, elite soldiers in the war. And after promoting all of you, ran off to the Midlands on a personal errand, which I gave you leave for. Discovered an artifact that you were to bring back. Received orders from a superior, from the spy master himself. What happened then? I've heard one side of it. But good king, here's from everyone. Now remember, your silence afterwards, your failure to communicate with me when you perfectly able to. Nothing but silence from my own musketeers. There was no word of what had happened. I didn't know if you were dead, if you had turned. You're lucky that that command didn't come directly from me, or we wouldn't even be talking right now. But that you did not even so much as check in, even after I sent a lord to you, for you with orders for you to return and to check in at your soonest, as soon as you are able. And I know that you had the opportunity, for you had a wizard at your own castle who could have visited here anytime she wanted. So tell me, you received the skull, what happened to it?
My lord, we failed. And were betrayed.
Explain.
Our compatriots at the time, one Halabaster Wynn, whom you know well,
Yes.
at the behest of their patron, and with no discussion with our compatriots, our group, our family, took it, made the decision that it must be destroyed, that it could never be used for positive means, and that it was due to consume any who tried to use its power. And whether I believe that sentiment or not is a moot point, because the decision was taken from me. He left. And at that moment, Allard left. Took that moment as a turning point, a decision to be made of allegiance, one way or another. And forgive me, my king, but I'll have to beg your understanding that when our family was torn asunder in this moment, I did not know which way to turn. I did not know which counsel to follow. I did not know if following the orders I had been given would lead to the ruin of the king I love. And so we were adrift betwixt two that we loved, both claiming to serve the king that we love. And then there were demons and incursions and planar beings and a prison torn asunder, and cities that needed saving. We've not been idle. And whether or not you approve us serving your banner, we were doing work that I believe you would say is good in your name. That's all I can offer. I can't speak for everyone, but I hope that I've done them justice in my account.
He reaches out his hand to one of the nearby people who hands him a piece of paper, parchment with like a seal and things on it, and he says here, according to Allard, that Mr. Wynn was going to hand over the skull to his extraplanar patron, a fae. Did that not concern you?
It did. We're currently on a quest to find him.
What have you done to try to find him? You scryed on him?
Yes.
Yes.
To what end?
He wouldn't disclose where he was, and we weren't able to figure out where he was.
It was not a place that was known to us. Around him was mist and shadow. We have made allies. We have continued our fight against the demon incursion that seems to be trying to tear this very land apart. We're doing our best to find it, to find him. And
My lord, in not following Allard, we did not realize that it would be seen as not following you.
That I'm not so concerned with. Allard has a temper. That's why I wanted to hear your point of view. But you can understand why I can take his word over yours. You did not so much as pick up a stone and talk into it. It was that simple. And yet you chose not to, and I have to wonder why. What agenda do you have to not check in with your king about something so vital? Even after I sent Allard back, not a word. Why?
there's no
Miss Hickling,
agenda.
you're very quiet. Are you hiding lies from me?
Of course not, my king.
I don't like your tone.
Apologies. I'm just reliving what has happened in my mind's eye. And things that we could have done. And didn't. And I can't take that back.
My birds have flown home and told me that you, perhaps, are more loyal to the Midlands now than to High Keep.
I have made no such decision. Their witch is gone. That is all.
There is
I only wanted to help quell the demon incursion.
He leans over to someone else and says, I received this from Marius Delvaux. It says that you helped free Mornhaven from an incursion of extraplanar beings.
That is correct. It was a pressing matter.
And yet not a word.
It was a pressing matter. My apologies, my king.
Well. What to do with you all? Think perhaps one last assignment. See if you can follow orders. And in which case, you will not be exiled from the kingdom. You will be allowed to keep Hammerguard. Find Halabaster Wynn. Bring me the skull. It is the next thing on your plate. Keep me informed. But as of now, you are no longer Captain Arturo. You are no longer musketeers in my employ. Perhaps you can get back into my good graces if you perform this task well. But hunt down the traitor. Kill him. Or bring him to justice. Bring the skull back. Do not put it in my hand. You will give it to Avery, our Archmage. She will figure out how to destroy it, along with her council. Do you accept?
Look to the two others. Yes, my lord.
Yes, I will.
You swear your intent is to destroy the skull?
My intent is not in question. But yes, I wish not such a thing. Such magic always comes with consequences. I have seen it myself in the War of the Souls.
I'm going to steal a glance over at Orlok. Just,
He's just sort of sitting there like this, just sort of watching.
okay.
John, can I insight check? The
Yeah.
king?
But of course.
Shit. Ooh.
No one can see insight. It's one of the best checks to make.
Oh god, my phone doesn't recognize my face because I have paint on it. Come on. There we go. Insight. +6. 19.
And what are you looking for?
I want to know if he's telling me the truth. I want to know if he really wants to destroy it or not.
Kings are used to being poker-faced. But as far as you can tell, he doesn't have his designs on the thing. Your wizard languishes in our dungeons, and there she will stay until you return. For I know she's been your accomplice.
She's not been an accomplice as much as she has been simply a friend. And I would hope she would not languish, my liege.
Well, there she will
If you
stay.
wish to destroy the skull, then Halabaster was truly wrong to deny it to you.
I'm gonna squeeze Kismet hand. I think.
Are you saying you don't wish to destroy the skull?
No,
Maybe I'm wrong to send you out.
that's
That's what you said.
sorry,
You
out of
said
character. Out of character. No, it's not. That's literally the opposite of what I said. I
you
was
said
like,
if he
if
wishes
that's
to
what
destroy
you
the
wish,
skull, then
then-
Halabaster shouldn't have.
no, then Halabaster was wrong to deny it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you
Yeah.
wanted
Oh,
to
okay.
destroy it, then he should have let you have it. That's literally what I said.
While we're out of character for a second.
Retconned.
Yeah, fuck off.
Boo.
I don't understand.
I
look
didn't
at
know that at the time.
Oh, there's scene.
Back to scene.
And I'm going back to what my inside check told me. So that's what I said. And I was like, because I'm the only one who hasn't agreed yet. And
Yeah.
I just like bend down and kneel to him and say, I accept this quest.
Very well. You can stay in the lower city tonight. Anything that you need, figure out what you will do.
Mina is in the prison.
You are dismissed.
I get up and leave.
Follow her.
I nudge Ergun this way. Kind of make our way around the room.
And come back, and everyone is watching you. Eliza, your father, looks very smug.
I subtly flick him off as we walk by.
I grab her hand.
You're taken out of the throne room. And the Lord Chamberlain says, "Come. We'll escort you out of the castle, out of the palace. We'll bring your hoofed friend as well."
Thank you.
Throne room was very nice. Not as impressive as the Empress's, but it was nice. Quaint.
This is not the time.
The architecture was very pleasing.
Glad you liked it.
You come out the front door, across this little, it's actually like the castle itself sits on this one little peak, and then there's a drop off, and then a bridge that goes across to the main part of Highkeep's, the royal part of the city, the upper city. And you hear the seagulls once again, smell the salty air, hear people on the ships down below, and you can hear the Grand Bazaar not too far away. And normally these were happy and pleasant things and taste like salt water in your mouth. It's just...
You think we'll have a chance to see the vault? I hear it's quite a sight. It's one of the wonders.
Why
of the
don't
world.
you ask your friend Marie?
I just met her. She's not here.
Well, then I guess you're out of luck.
Bad.
Friend, Eliza.
What was that, Ben?
Friend Eliza, did I understand that your
Yeah.
Paramore.
perhaps we should see them if possible before we depart?
Yeah. What is it about me?
It's not you.
They all end up in prison.
I end up dead. So we're in good company.
Or like starts to say it, and then you jumped in, and he goes,
Oh, God.
And Kismet just like kind of grabs her shoulders a little hard, but like lovingly, and just like there's like a smile that's almost crying.
This is ridiculous.
or like leans over to Willow and says, to the best of my knowledge, none of Ergun's friends have either died or been imprisoned. And then he leans back.
Somewhat comforting.
He's so close.
That explains why she hasn't been responding to my messages.
The
Did
Lord.
any of us did you guys know we were supposed to send messages to the king? Because I had no idea.
Orlac and I send regular messages back to what we were
Lord always
to.
took care of that for us.
Maybe it was something Allard did
Well, he
that
certainly didn't
we
tell
didn't really
us.
know about.
I mean, we did
mean-
find out he was a spy later, so.
I mean, we were supposed to like find the skull and come back, and we did find the skull, but then we
Right.
lost the skull, and
I
so
had
we
no
didn't
idea.
come back because we didn't have the skull.
I mean, how are we supposed to send message? We didn't have a sending stone to anyone who we would report to. I mean, I guess we could have sent a letter, but that would have taken as long to get here as we did.
I'm
I
not
suppose
really
not could have
feeling like
communicated.
this is the type of situation where we're meant to pick at straws. It's the
No,
one
I'm
that
more so
we're
surprised.
eat
I
whatever we're fed.
didn't know. I would have sent him messages if I had known. It's just stupid.
I feel like we would have lost either way. I mean, what if we kept sending him messages like, we don't have the skull yet, sorry.
It would have been better. He wouldn't have felt so
Mhm.
betrayed.
Little
What are
bit.
you supposed to do? There's no protocol for when a demon incursion happens.
Or for when your best friend,
Feeds you for breakfast.
I was talking about the other one, betrays you. Oh. And now we are under orders to harm someone we love.
I was saying the same thing, by the way.
No. Sorry.
Sorry.
Can't believe we have to kill him.
We don't have to kill him. We
Yeah,
said
but-
kill
Gotta
him
be dead
or
somehow.
bring him to justice.
We're going to have to fight him. He's not going to come willingly. Not if we intend to bring the sword in, because his unicorn god said that would be bad. Wrong. That the king would do evil with it.
I want to believe him.
I think he's wrong.
Does it matter? And now, I mean,
No, it doesn't. We know what we have to
No.
do. We have our orders.
Clear-cut orders.
Very direct orders, and this time from the king, directly in front of an audience that we swore to. And I will fulfill those orders.
Where are we, John?
Standing right in front of the palace.
Cool. Let's go to wherever the fuck we're staying. We would know somewhere near.
The only place you've stayed in town is a large tavern.
No, that was in Ghislaine.
Oh, that was in Ghislaine. That's right.
No, but we're in the capital.
I don't think you've ever been to Bastion in game before.
We have not.
Not
Eliza-
in game,
Eliza-
but like in life of the characters, we would know somewhere to stay.
Eliza would know that Allard has a townhouse, or the de Longuevilles have a townhouse that she stayed in.
Do you think the de Longuevilles would let us stay with them?
I'm
Marie didn't seem particularly upset.
What if she's there?
I would say that if you were to call in favors from friends, that you should do so discreetly, if for anything for their sake.
How about
I
this?
think we call in no favors. I think we stay,
We stay
at
at
a
a
tavern.
I agree.
We buy rooms. I'm not.
No, you're completely right. We are not calling in favors. We are not speaking to anyone. If they want to speak to us, they can come to us.
We keep to ourselves. We have our orders. I want to get out of this city
Let's go.
as fast as possible.
So Bastion is set up to the upper city and the lower city. And the upper city is actually a small island that's just covered in like those kind of white Italian villas, like going up the sides of this cliff. And then there is a long bridge that goes over the Maid Fate Channel to the lower city. That's where most people live, and where they said you could stay. They said you don't get to stay in the upper city, which is where you've normally stayed, which is at the barracks or one of the other places around here. Yeah. And not that you haven't been to the lower city, but usually you have the privilege being in the
Is the
guard.
is the main marketplace in the lower city or the upper city?
Main marketplace is in the lower city. The like hoity-toity things from all over the world that only rich people can afford. Marketplaces in the upper city.
You should take the opportunity to pick up some scrolls. The High Keep Market is known far and wide for its exotica.
Let's find a place to
Yes.
stay and acquire some rooms, and then anyone who wishes to do business may, knowing where we're headed back to. Don't wish to lose track of you two in this city. You stand out a bit.
It
Be much harder to lose us.
may be wise for you to take your human form for a bit until we are in a private space. It's one thing to appear as Draken in court, it's another to do it in the city.
Anyone would be a fool to harm an Imperial
They
guest.
would,
Capital
but
of-
it
Let them
would
try.
also attract a lot more attention.
And we really don't need any more attention. We're gonna be watched like hawks.
On the other hand, it will make it easy for people to find us should they wish to come. So I would know we would know where the nearest tavern is, so we would head that way.
You wind through the streets of the upper city, and you probably go a block or two when you see 6 musketeers standing at one of the adjoining roads, full tabards and everything. And as you walk past, they just
We get it.
Understood.
you get down to the bridge and cross the Maid Fate Channel into the hustle and bustle of Lower City. Find the tavern that's just on the other side. It's large and fairly nice. It's where the people who can't quite swing a place in the upper city go. Is that the sort of place you're looking for?
Yeah.
Just someplace.
Clean. Out of the way.
You walk toward it, and Eliza, as you're walking, your mother grabs your hand and holds it. Kismet, Brill just kind of like is right next to you, and like at one point just kind of like bumps her head against you, like when you have to stop for a minute, and she does this kind of.
It's gonna be alright.
That's what I was going to tell you.
That almost breaks her.
You hear this music, and it's just all wrong. The sound of the band at a tavern late in the afternoon, as people have gotten off, laughing, some singing, and you walk inside, and you can see that there's like this. It's like a podium where the innkeeper stays, and you can see that it is a fairly rotund halfling with big bushy sideburns and big curly hair, and he says, "Oh, welcome, come on in, new guests for the night, are we?
You're correct.
Look, can I get you an ale, perhaps some food, and some rooms for the lot? Whoa, look at the big fellas. Where are you in from?"
Imperia, originally.
That's what I was gonna guess too.
You are quite wise. Yes, food and drink.
And 2 rooms, please. If we could have those for the evening.
Good. 5 silver a night.
I hand him a gold.
Thank you very much. He hands you a couple of keys and says, "If you want to take a seat, we'll bring some food out to you shortly."
Thank you. And if you have any bacon, we do like bacon.
I think I could rustle some up.
Thank you.
Might be a few minutes. Gotta put it through the fire, you know? So, well, you all look sour, bit dour. Perhaps some of our fine ale will put you in a better mood. Let me get you. And he pops down off of this like box and kind of waddles behind the bar. Says, "I'll get you a pitcher."
I look around for a table, and it's
It's fairly easy to find a table. It's not too late at night yet, so.
Do you all realize, I say once we sit down,
Mm-hmm.
that in the last 24 hours, we traveled through an interdimensional plane to an interdimensional prison, rescued my mother, escaped, destroyed the prison doors, got her to safety, ran off, had a tryst, one of us had a tryst, found
2.
prison.
What is a tryst?
I'll tell you later.
Found the Inquisitors, stole something from the Inquisitors, ran up that staircase again, came back down, got the Inquisitors to not harm us, found each other again, fought a fire demon while running from a Fey Lord, discovered that our friends had been stolen, had an audience with the king, learned devastating news, and now we're just going to eat bacon, and it has not even been 24 full hours.
A full day.
Yeah.
This has
Are
been
you-
a lot.
Are you saying you need a nap?
I need a nap. I need a drink. My girlfriend is in prison because of me, and I don't have the capacity to process that.
I need to check in with Holly.
She's in prison because of us.
Holly is in prison as well.
Rena
No.
would not.
I was referring to the first topic. Well, the previous topic.
Yes. Understood.
Meaning it wasn't all Eliza's fault.
Yes, it seems to be a
When-
collective effort.
She wouldn't have gone as far as she did for anyone but me. She loves you in a friendly sort of way, but also he kept referring to her as a wizard and she as a sorceress. And she would
That
be
was
very
actually
offended if she was
rude.
called a wizard. Right.
Yeah.
No, usually sorcerer is a derogatory term for wizard.
Well, I'm sure sorcerers don't see it that way.
Yes, but who listens to them?
I do.
I think you were doing other things with her.
Right. Well, we have rooms and you can now do the things that you want to do. If you want to go see Marie and the books or whatever, I'm sure you can.
We should.
No, I need to probably should scribe some scrolls into my staff because we have several scrolls that could be of use in our
Orvac,
upcoming quest.
do you have the ability to scry?
No, but Willow does.
I do.
Are you able to scry on Allie?
I could try.
You want to do that right now?
Well, no. Once we get to our rooms, you should do that before we go to sleep for the night.
I agree.
All right.
We also are going to need, before we leave, we're going to need to establish some form of consistent communication, whether that be a sending stone.
That was not asked of us, and if I'm being completely honest with the present company, I'm not particularly keen to offer it.
I believe the
He
King
did.
of High Keep did ask you to stay in contact.
He did. We were just.
It is
Yeah,
also safe to
gave us-
assume.
No means with which to do so.
I would say that it's safe to assume he has the sending stone that Mina had.
I will inquire after it tomorrow.
He did ask you to figure out what you needed for your quest and to make it happen. Perhaps you could inquire with this High Chancellor about some sort of communication.
I will do so.
The gatekeepers have a book that we send messages back and forth with.
That would be convenient.
Though mine only goes to the gatekeepers, but perhaps High Keep has something similar.
You remember Allard had something similar as well.
Perhaps we'll be able to find something. I will inquire after it after we've had some rest.
What time of day is it?
Late afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
So-
not like, hey, let's go to bedtime.
It's getting close. The sun's getting ready to go down. So
Getting real low.
sun's getting real low.
So while we're waiting for food, and even maybe while we're eating food, in front of everyone, and kind of involving all of you in the conversation, I'm going to start asking. So I'm going to turn to Adira and go, so Mother, as you know, this is going to be quite the journey for us. And I would like to send you somewhere safe before we go. I don't want you coming with us. But I do... There's some gaps in my understanding of what happened between when I was taken and you were put in the prison. It seems you have an understanding of this skull that no one else has found.
She reaches into a pouch and pulls out these pieces of appears to be leather. And she has some things written on.
And I'm going to do a quick perception check to see if anyone is trying to listen in on us.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
20. You don't notice anybody.
Okay. I'll pick up the leather and look at it closely.
Okay.
What is this?
So those are my notes. You can see that she's written down some things about the skull, where she thinks it is, some people who saw it last.
Is it where she thinks it is now, or where she thought it was before we recovered it?
Where she thought it was before you recovered it.
Was she right?
What?
I was just about to ask that.
What's that?
Was she right?
Was she right?
Yes. Hang on a second. I think somebody's fucking with my door. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Herb.
Y'all, Kismet is not okay.
Neither is.
Neither is Eliza.
Mm-hmm.
Great, we're all not okay together.
We're not okay. We're not okay.
Okay.
Not even a little bit okay.
Mm.
Out of character, Kismet's about to sneak out and go find Doolin, just so you know.
That's fair. That is entirely.
Good luck with that. He seemed real angry.
Really angry, it's not gonna go well. She's
It-
gonna be crushed. It's gonna be upsetting.
Eliza is really unsure what to do about Mina.
What can she do? I mean,
That's the thing. She can't do anything but
well, I mean, you could probably try to go visit her. And
visit for sure. I'm not sure the king would let me visit her, as she is our quote unquote wizard.
No, she's probably held in some place that like it's anti-magic out the wazoo or whatever. So
True.
I need to send a message to Holly with everything.
Holly again?
My sister.
Oh, that's right.
she's traveling around with Marshall and Will.
Okay.
You okay?
Took care of it. Pepper spray. I didn't actually have to spray it at anybody, but there was a guy like leaning against my gate, not realizing like, hey, this is my home. Get out of here.
No.
Please don't.
We
Thank
don't
you.
like
Bye.
that.
Do you think that any of your research into the skull might have triggered something? Some awareness of it that wasn't there before?
Only if. Well, I know now that I was being followed by your father's agents. But, I mean, it does appear to have stayed hidden until, well, until you got it.
You think he had any interest in the skull, or just you and your movements?
I don't think he had any interest in the skull at all.
And are you absolutely certain that it was him who imprisoned you and not
Eliza.
someone doing it because they were
Eliza,
yeah,
he was there.
he was there. think I might hate men.
Excuse me.
Join the club.
Orlak, you don't count. You're a Draken. I meant human men.
Can't tell whether or not to be flattered or hurt.
Take it as flattery.
Hmm.
Human men are cowards.
I probably just prefer to ignore it completely.
I might include elven men in there. Only because of what Hallie did.
He may be an exception. Either way, I'm not looking forward to what we have to do.
If it's easier, I will kill him.
That would be easier.
It would be better than one of us doing it, but I don't want to see him die.
You should turn away.
It would seem to me that if you brought him to the king, he would die anyway.
He might.
Oh, I don't know if that's true, Ergun. We're not sure about the policies of Highkeep. Perhaps he would just be in prison forever.
Sometimes I think Hallie doesn't care if he dies.
Well, he believes that what he did was correct, so.
And he will fight to defend it.
He wants to destroy
Care
it.
to the ones
He
who
wants
don't
to
care.
destroy it, and the king says he wants to destroy it, and
Believe the king.
In my experience, the ones who do not care to die have already died inside.
Yeah.
Well, sold.
Kismet looks Willow and then Eliza very hard in the eyes. Do you have any doubt in your heart that Hallie has any intent other than to destroy the skull?
His intent has never been to destroy the skull. His intent was to follow the order of his patron and bring the skull to his patron. He did not intend to destroy it. He intended to hand it over to her.
That would be
hide
bad.
it, to protect it.
To protect it or destroy it?
To keep it out of the hands of people who would use it for.
I don't remember him saying he wanted to destroy it or that his patron intended to. Not that we got much information from him.
What does it matter? Says Ergun all of a sudden. He's, your king is giving you an order and is holding a loved one over your heads.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what this Hallie wanted or intended.
Well,
All that
or
matters is what you plan on doing now.
like what I've learned about human in motion is that often we will discuss all possibilities and feelings because figuring out those feelings is a large part of our interpersonal communication.
Granted. However, rehashing a past you can't change is not as productive as deciding what to do next.
Well, we've decided
It's been
what to
my
do
experience,
next.
but you must do as you see fit, of course.
We are going to drink this ale and eat this bacon. We are going to scry on Hallie and try to figure out where he might be. We are going to figure out what we need to get close to him. We may end up needing Marie's help or some help to get close. And we are going to find him and get the skull and bring it to the king.
What if the skull is already with his patron?
And we're going to kill a god.
I believe it was some sort of unicorn patron, you said.
She's a god.
A unicorn god.
Fae, unicorn, whatever.
The
We
Fae don't
already
have gods
need-
as such, but sure. But being an otherworldly being.
Otherworldly being.
Or like you're being overly specific.
Well, no, I'm just saying a god you can't kill, but a otherworldly being you can.
Yes.
It
We
will
already-
be a tough enemy to face against.
Indeed.
And then Kismet, once we have figured out what to do with that interplanar being, we're going to go find the other one and get your friends. We're going to do that as musketeers.
Hey, John.
Mm-hmm.
Do people within this world understand alignment? Is like alignment a thing? Okay.
Alignment's always sort of been a player thing more than a character thing.
I understand. I just want to understand, like, if they're like a unicorn is typically understood to be a universally quote unquote good being. And so I want to understand, like, is that
That's probably still true, I would think, wouldn't it, John?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But again, just because something is good doesn't mean that something can do a good thing can do something they think is good that other people might think is not.
Yeah, goods can be opposed. I just want to make sure that I feel like Ergun and Orlak would have a certain understanding with some fey creatures, and we
Yeah.
would probably understand that a unicorn is typically a quote unquote good being.
Good being. Good guy.
But one that shouldn't be here.
Hmm.
Says Orlak, always the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I could try to acquire a teleportation scroll to facilitate our movement.
That could be.
Though it is limited to places I have actually seen. If we don't want to be cast into a valley or mountain or river or lake or ocean.
We can easily be brought back to where we came from.
Perhaps we should find out where we are going first.
No, true.
Has the food already arrived? Like, are we already?
Yeah, you. After a few minutes of talking, you hear, "All right, here we go," and this pitcher of beer comes up, and there's 3 halflings who all look related. Come out, and one of them puts up the pitcher of beer, and another one takes a bunch of tankards and drops them on the table, and the third one comes along with a big plate of bacon, and then a fourth one comes running out of the back. Sorry, with some breads and cheeses and some jack cakes and like little corn flatbreads and stuff. And
Not in a I'm leaving in a huff kind of way. Kismet 100% cannot handle the halflings and leaves.
they're like,
Let her go. Kismet,
"Oh, I hope she's all right."
don't do.
She'll be
something-
fine. We'll eat her share.
I will save.
Like, if possible, she would have done it in a way in which people would have maybe not noticed she was gone until a bit.
Make stealth roll.
That is 19.
19. Okay. Yeah, they you manage to slip out, and while they're doing some stuff, and they don't seem to notice you leaving. All right, well, if there's nothing else, then we're gonna go and I don't know, wait on other people, I suppose, but just give us a whistle and a wave, and we'll be right back to help you out.
Indeed. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Well, I want to hear what LJ is doing. So I'm not saying anything.
Honestly, yeah, I think we're eating in silence at this point. Willow doesn't really have much to say.
We're
I'm
gonna
sure.
do-
I'm sure Orlak's chatting with
We're
everyone.
gonna scroll later, but we can. I mean, honestly, we can even do that next game.
Mhm.
Ergun's just kind of sitting, trying to respect the silence.
I want to say that, like, in my head, he's like, every so often, he's like awkwardly patting Willow's hand or something. Like, he knows he should be comforting, but he's, still working on it. You know?
Well, and also, I don't think Willow's even really helping at this point. she's just very like inside herself right now.
Yeah, I don't think Ergoon's trying to touch Willow at all. I think Ergoon's just kind of sitting in the silence with her.
Or like deals with the silence for like a few minutes, and then when it becomes clear that no one's talking, he pulls out a book and like flips it open, and he's eating and like reading.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say that you were gonna start reading aloud to us, and I would have left.
Now, no one wants to hear esoteric magical theory.
It's like, here's what I read today. I'm like, nope.
And as you sit there, eating and reading in silence, outside, doing whatever in the dark streets, we're gonna call it for the night. Good job, everybody.
But no, John, if I can, I think like the camera cuts away from us at the table, and it cuts over to Kismet, like in the dark, in this street, and she's standing there looking at a house or whatever, or like a townhouse or something, and then it pans over and it becomes clear it's Doolin's house, and that's where it ends.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She had told us that she was
100%.
planning.
Yeah, she had said that's what she was going to do. That's why I was like, oh, I want to see how this plays out.
Right. Which we can start there.
Why did Eliza get all green?
Yeah, you are very
Question.
green.
Oh, now you're blue.
Yeah, no, it's my crappy camera. It's fine.
It's like- All of a sudden,
Hey, you
Eliza
can do
turned
a
into a
background,
truck.
and I'm stuck with like my little like wonder sheet back here, and you guys are all in a cool like tavern together.
No, we're all in front of the same door in different universes.
I just bought.
I just realized we're at one point during this very, very dramatic moment, I was looking around at all of us and realized that there's this chain, but it's not showing my hand.
Yeah, right here.
That looks like a pull chain for the
Yes.
for a toilet.
Oh, right.
Oh, I've noticed that for a while. It's been like a couple hours,
This,
and I
this scene, like this background, is from a game called Stonekeep, like from early 2000s, and it was like a dungeon crawl, like first-person perspective dungeon crawl, and you would actually click on that with your mouse, and the chain would go down, and the door would open.
That's
I only
awesome.
know that because
the
I'm old.
chain would go down and the toilet would flush.
Yeah, and then the door would open.
Oh, guys, I can't believe it's been 3 years. That's amazing and also nuts.
And
I
now
love
shit.
I love how much a single decision that one of us made has kind of like
This all.
yeah,
Shaped narrative.
resonated. Yeah.
You mean one? You mean you?
I do mean me.
Yeah, that was all. You.
all you.
I am looking forward to a reckoning, to
Are
be
you
perfectly
really?
honest.
Are you looking forward to it?
I
Yes.
can't wait for us to have
Oh, it's
another
gonna
Hallie
be
game
So
where we
good.
finally catch up with the bastard and we're talking and all the things. Because out of character, Kismet's so conflicted and she's still really pretty much on Hallie's side and can't understand why this is the whole thing, but like does but doesn't, and knows that it's a lot political and a lot about power and doesn't trust the king entirely. It's just
You know, it's really not political, though, right? I mean, it's like, I think from the king's perspective, it's they thought I gave them this order and they disobeyed it, and then they didn't check in with me. So, what the hell?
Yes, but in my head is like, why did the king want us to find it in the first place? It was hidden in a fucking middle of a thing away. Nobody had seen it or heard of it in forever. It's like, why did he need us to go get it so that he could destroy it?
He
Like-
didn't. No, it was the initial. I mean, if you remember, the initial thing was we got the orders from Kirby, who said it was from the king, and then it turned out Kirby was a demon, but we didn't know any of that.
It was the demons. That's
Right.
right.
We didn't know any of that. By the time he did find out about it, he was like, "Yes, bring that here, and we'll make sure it's destroyed." That's
Oh
what
yeah,
Allard
but
told
we
us.
didn't actually get that order because Allard left, and then we didn't get that order until way later when Allard caught up with us.
Right, but I mean, you got but the initial. I think part of the king's anger is you thought you had legitimate orders and you didn't follow them.
Yeah,
then-
but they were dumb orders, and we knew it.
But you don't get a choice. You don't get a choice about that. You're a
I
soldier.
Also-
know, but I do.
Also, Once you figured out where it was, there were other people who were following you who also found out where it was.
I remember we were in like a skull race.
Yes,
The
but those
Imperiums.
are people from maybe kind of Imperia because that was Celine's group that were also looking for it. But now they're like totally cool with High Keep. So
Well, they're
was
cool
there
with
really an
Celine.
arms race?
Yeah, and remember the
I don't know.
paladin ambush that
I
killed
don't
Willow?
know. It's all very complicated, man.
The paladin
I think,
ambush
honestly,
that
I
killed
think-
Willow, the
Yeah, that's right.
group of
Celine's
Tel
group
Sheen
killed
in the-
Willow.
in the forest.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, I think the majority of the King's anger seemed to be the fact that you guys stopped checking in with him or reporting in or just like send him a message saying, hey,
he
this has
just
gone
seems
down.
like a
Honestly-
rich person who was lonely. It's like my people stop talking to me.
Honestly,
What?
I
No,
had
you're soldiers on a mission, and you stopped talking to your leader.
I had
We were on like an
no idea.
exploratory jaunt. We're like,
Sorta.
I mean, he called us his personal bodyguards, but like honestly, we're really more like glorified, like special
Troubleshooters.
forces. You know what I mean? It's like call us in when you need us, but until then, we're gonna be wandering the country doing good deeds.
I'm not sure that's how he described our role when he gave us that job.
That was how I understood it.
Not to mention, he did ask us or ask y'all to come back, and you didn't.
Yeah, there's that.
That is fair.
Yeah,
That was
and
last
you guys
time. But then we
left
got a bunch
High
of demon
Keep-
attacks.
You left High Keep on Eliza's request to go looking for her mother. And then, yeah, who knows when Sir Basil was taken over, so
We got fake orders. All of this is real shady, man. That's all I'm saying.
you just checked in with the king. Maybe all this could have been avoided.
Or we would have just gotten in other trouble.
like
Maybe I don't like authority, and that wouldn't have gone well anyway.
Kismet not liking
That's all right.
authority? That's
You-
so bizarre.
It's all right. You just disappointed your father figure, that's all.
I'm about to have a really, really disappointing conversation with him. It's fine.
Yeah, I really want Kismet to use the argument you just made with Doolin. That'll go great.
I, Tiffany, and also Eliza, genuinely did not know that we ever checked in with the king a single time. Because even Allard kept it a secret that he was checking in with Sir Basil for most
Yeah,
of our
honestly, I'm
travels.
not entirely certain that I knew either. I knew that like if there was like a big moment, we needed to have like a check-in, but like not a like, hey, here's where we're at now. Here's where we're at now.
True, but I think maybe the argument, the other side of that argument is when one of your party members flees with the powerful artifact and another one runs off to go find him and you're left by yourself, that might have been a good moment to check in.
How could we
You're
have checked in?
soldiers.
We're not fucking magical people.
Eliza,
Are we supposed to
You guys-
abandon pursuit of the mission and
you guys
just
were
like march home
constantly
to give a
checking
letter?
in with Mina. You were constantly
could've-
checking in with Mina,
could have had
and
Mina
she could have used a
just
message
message.
spell. And you
I don't
knew it.
know what you're talking about.
And you
I
In
was-
between booty calls, Eliza could have mentioned.
All right. Oh my
Right.
god.
No, this is definitely on me.
Well, no one else thought about it either. I mean,
Right.
Oh. I mean, I discovered that not
I
only
thought about it. I just knew I
Okay,
didn't have good news, and it's like you
Sorry,
don't
Laura was
talk to
talking. What?
someone until we have good news.
Well, like in our travels, I discovered that wow, my dad is still alive, and I have like an entire half family,
Right.
and then all of a sudden they're in danger.
Oh yeah,
deep-
I didn't make it easy on you.
No,
I don't do
that's not your job.
I know.
that.
I'm just saying.
I bring
We
the
were
drama.
going through this shit.
Yeah.
I know, and it's amazing.
Do you guys
Thank
remember when we were in the horrible interdimensional plane and
Which
like,
time?
Which one?
I had no, and Eliza ended up having to fight and kill everyone, and or not Ergun. Hallie was like the last one.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I remember
we
that.
fought hard. And so she is just reliving that.
Oh, and that you're gonna have to fight him for real.
And now she's like, am I going to have to fight him for real? Am I going to actually have to do this?
And will Hallie be able to kill you if you try to kill him?
I mean, probably. It's
I
not
don't
like
think-
he's existing in a vacuum and is still at level whatever we left him at.
Although if he was, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
Well, maybe John and I will have to talk a little bit.
Unfortunately, I do think that all of us together could take Hallie easily.
I mean, I have whole
Oh
groups.
yeah.
He's
Hallie-
an NPC now, which means he no longer follows PC rules.
Yeah.
Maybe just Hallie, but not Hallie and his deity
Right.
or his
Whatever
patron.
army-
Oh shit! Now in my head, it's some sort of Deadpool-esque like image of Hallie riding in on a unicorn, and it's farting rainbows or some shit.
I don't know. Kismet's definitely not going to be completely stricken by guilt and run off to the Fey Realm instead of waiting around to figure out how long it's going to take to find Hallie before she goes to rescue everyone that she loves.
Right.
True. I mean, I think that's a really big point
Spoilers.
I think that's a really big point for her, whether or not she values herself or her family over the king.
Well, or the her chosen family and the other party members.
Yeah.
Because if
No,
she
it's
leaves,
all fucking.
Moral questions are the best thing in a DM's arsenal.
Mhm.
Just so you know, John, I'm 100% going to be having an in-depth conversation with Sir Christopher Lucas in the alleyway before I talk to Doolin, so be prepared.
You got it.
When we get in there, Christopher,
Very,
I
very
want you to
good
go for
work.
his throat with your little teeth, just right in there.
And John, we'll have to also chat about where exactly Hallie is at this moment, because if they're gonna scry him, we're gonna have to figure out where exactly he is.
I have ideas, so
Perfect.
Oh my dear friend. Once that character left your possession, the GM can do whatever the fuck he wants.
That's very
Trust me, I
true.
know.
That's
My
very
wife got married and is having a baby, and I had no idea.
John is nice. I'm sure he'll listen to input.
My character got married and is having a baby with her.
I just hope there's one place
Last
that
woman
you
on the
guys
list.
find
Worst one.
when you're tracking Hallie. This is one place.
Wendy's.
It's actually Taco
The
Bell.
Wendy's.
It's an In and Out.
I can see Orlac at the counter. I will have a taco pizza.
I think at one point, in a like sarcastic humor to hide pain sort of way, Eliza would say to Kismet and or Willow, maybe we should just gather a couple of orcs, bring them along.
Oh no.
That'll distract him. Well, you know that
Kismet's
one
not
guy.
there.
I mean, he was
Kismet's not there.
Right. So I
feel
would
like
say that
this
to
is
Willow.
something-
I think we should
Yeah.
bring some orcs. It'll fuck them
I
up.
mean, do we hate him this much though? That we
Gosh.
want his last moments to be
We
staring
could
at-
always just use a
I-
spell to
I
make
want
some
to take
illusionary.
him alive. I want to take him alive.
He might not give you that. He might not give you that option.
Well, then that is
If we
his
have it.
choice.
I don't think I can bring myself to kill my friend.
Former.
Is he still your friend?
I don't know.
Kind of ran off. Like, we never had the breakup. He just kind of ghosted us.
I do miss Linus and Dorcas though.
every
Mhm.
time I go to the grocery store, I see the Dorcas store inside there, inside the little Tokyo marketplace, and think about that.
Kismet trusted
mind forever.
Hallie. And so, like, there's a part of Kismet that still trusts Hallie, of like his judgment. And for some reason, and I don't know that this is logical at all, but for me as a player / Kismet as a character, the way that Hallie left was because of a cause, and the way that Allard left was because of people and choices. And so the way that Allard left felt like more of a, like, like a choice, like a betrayal, like a choice of like I'm leaving you and you have to make a choice and follow me and this and that. Like it was much more like adversarial versus Hallie was like, I have to do a thing. I can't force myself to involve any of you. Like I have to do this thing and I'm leaving like greater calling. And so there's a part of Kismet that kind of respects that a little bit and like wonders if there's something to that and is so hurt by like Allard like leaving and like sundering that in that way and the way that everything kind of like fell apart. So it's
what's interesting is like from my perspective or a large perspective, if he was 100% doing a cause.
Yeah.
It just, you know, granted it's a cause with about from an authority, which is probably why Kismet's not into it. But
totally.
You know, but if like for him, it was just like, what do you mean? This is the cause. This is, you know,
This is
rah
the-
rah hiking, you know. But you and I have a much different view on the way Hallie left. You know, like I have a much different view of the way that Hallie left versus the way you are remembering it. Because the way I remember it was him going, I don't trust the king. I'm not giving this thing to him. I'm going to give it to my patron.
Yep.
Yep. And then between it was
Levitate,
like
go.
Yeah. So that, I mean, but I can definitely see how Kismet would think the way you're saying.
Yeah.
It's totally on character.
Ben, did you come up with the conflict from the patron? Or did John give that to you? I'm curious.
Is that something I'm supposed to reveal?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll leave it be. I don't know if I want to necessarily reveal that.
Fine. I know where you live.
I know that you told Eliza some of your history, like why Hallie is the way that he is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But Eliza has not told anyone else, nor has that been revealed.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know.
Yeah, it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were on set
I mean,
together.
Well,
We had lunch in character one time.
No, this is great. It's great that one character knows because like Allard had no idea where the fuck Hallie came from.
Oh yeah.
He never, like Hallie never wanted to share, and Allard wasn't like he was like I'm not pressing on it, but you know whatever.
I mean, Hallie definitely talked to Eliza coyly about the situation that he found himself in regards to the skull.
Yeah. That's another reason Eliza's feeling a lot of guilt. She never thought he would actually do that. She might have had some warning that it was coming.
Well, and Ben, when we talked after the whole thing, you were saying that like one of the reasons you spoke to Eliza is because you kind of were predicting what Allard was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah, I figured that Eliza was going to be the way for me to understand what was going to happen with Allard.
Yeah.
And I think even like Hallie even had a moment, if I'm remembering correctly, to try to like figure out what Allard was going to choose. I think a session or two before we actually had that happen.
No, yeah, you had a you had a
throughout that
conversation
game.
about patriotism, and I remember you saying like asking about like what is the oath and like you know to the king and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I didn't think much of it at the time.
Yeah, I was thinking like, I was wondering if you were gonna catch on, Brian, or not.
I have to tell you all that after this all went down, Ben and I like were chatting and we were geeking the fuck out about the whole thing. And I mean, honestly,
About splitting the party, you were geeking out about splitting the fucking
it was such an
party.
amazing moment. It was one of the
Okay.
amazing roleplay moments I've ever seen.
Me too.
It is.
Yeah, I get it.
I wish we had that recorded. So
I
Wow,
know.
yeah, me too.
I will always be mad that we did not have that.
I
recorded.
wish we had been recording since the beginning. I wish I could go back and watch it all.
I don't think I've ever had an adventuring party breakup without the gaming group breaking up.
No.
Mm.
We
Sure.
were all
Honestly,
like more in love with each other after that moment.
Or at
Than
least
before.
without like I've had characters like a player go, look, I'm done with this character. Let's figure out a way for him to leave. And then you kind of figure out a thing. But like I had no idea.
I had no idea either. I was like, what?
And you're sitting back there, Ben, like holding on to a levitate spell, like ready to go.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, it
definitely
was like
planned.
he died before he lost that fucking levitation
Yes.
spell.
Yeah.
And Alard was like,
He
"Fuck! I've
died
already
holding
used my
on to
fly
that
spell.
spell.
God damn it!
We had
Like I had nothing left.
You couldn't even
So-
counterspell.
No, I had nothing. I had
that was
absolutely
so
nothing.
that was the same day and within the same game that Eliza had to fight everyone, including Hallie, and kill Hallie.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, I thought that was
so-
the. I thought that happened with the shadow dude. I thought this was it was the same day as the mega beholder.
The Uber holder.
Yeah, because that was that whole
That's
thing.
where Callie
was-
died. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but that was where she was feeling betrayed from the thing that didn't actually happen,
Right.
and knowing what Hallie was thinking of, and so she kept inserting herself in between Hallie and Alard to be like, no, it's fine, guys, we don't need to fight, we can figure this out, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't done a greater restoration on the Fey Lord,
He
He was
wouldn't have
not-
helped us, and if
wouldn't
he
have helped
hadn't
you.
helped us, Hallie would have died.
Well, I think I did the greater restoration on the Fey
yeah,
Lord.
you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was all fucking tit for tat. But if we
Those were
hadn't
kind of-
gotten him on our side, we would have been fighting him and the Uber holder.
No, he would have waited until we were really worn out by the Uber holder, and then would have attacked us when we were weak.
I don't know. That's just what John told us. Is like we would have been fighting them both because he
Oh,
was
maybe.
under
Not
the.
necessarily at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's worse if we fight him afterwards. Because if you remember, when we came out of that thing, we
were
had nothing.
messed
Like we had no
up.
spell slots. We were all like almost dead.
And he was of a lot of help in that moment. He
he
also he's the one who used his move Earth to
Yeah,
save Alard from flying into the
Into the
bit.
Uber holder's mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
because that whole thing could have been very, very
That could have
different.
been very
where
different.
you guys had to go to the Nightmare Realm to like recover Alard, or
Yeah.
I did
Hmm.
think during the whole thing that like if Alard had died, because I didn't know about the Nightmare Realm at that point, I thought like if I flew in the mouth, I guess I'm dead. And I thought, man, it'll be really interesting watching Eliza trying to deal with Alard's death.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose in a way she dealt with a different kind of death and more of like the death of their friendship.
Yeah, she tried to
Yeah.
kill herself and tied her soul to a demon.
It was really upsetting to deal with. Alard.
He just followed the king's orders. None of this would have happened.
Oh my god.
If you simply listen to reason.
if Alard hadn't been such a dick and had said, "Hey, come on,
If
let's
there was
go as a
such a
team,"
thing-
instead of you need
Make
to
a
make
choice.
up your fucking minds, either
Yeah.
follow me or fuck off.
We hadn't
If
even
there was
said
such
we
a
were
thing
making up our
lawful
minds.
chaotic, that would be Alard. If there was a lawful chaotic, that's Alard.
I'm sure by now he's probably like migrated over like lawful neutral.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
much more like
So happy for him.
Eliza's always been chaotic good. And then with the addition of the sword, she slid a little more close to neutral. And if that had kept on going on, she would have been full on chaotic evil.
Evil.
chaotic evil is like a homicidal maniac, like maybe neutral evil.
I like to put more shades on the things than that of like playing a character is like if you want to be somebody who's chaotic evil is like you can find a way to play that is not entirely game breaking, that you find their own set of like logic and like counterpoints
Yeah.
of stuff. You know what's important.
Chaotic.
I
I
think it's more about being like completely selfish versus caring about other people.
Well, chaotic neutral is more completely selfish, but like I could see with any alignment except for chaotic evil, like lawful evil. I've had people play that. I played a neutral evil character. I can see how that works. Chaotic evil is sort of like it's really only designed for like complete bad guys. But I mean, everybody plays it differently, you know.
yeah.
You have no code of conduct, and everything you do is
Designed to hurt somebody.
designed to further your own goals.
and
Yeah.
hurt somebody.
Completely
Like
selfish. No, you don't have to hurt people
It
if you're
doesn't have
chaotic.
to be violent. Like it has
No,
to be completely
But chances are you will. You
self-determined.
don't care if you hurt
You don't
people.
care if it does.
right.
It's
I mean,
like
chaotic
not
neutral
about-
is also you're in it for yourself.
that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
though, is that it's not about necessarily like creating harm for other people being the goal. It is completely being uncaring about any sort of consequences for anyone else
So what do
and
you see?
serving your own goals.
So what do you see as the difference between chaotic neutral and chaotic evil?
Chaotic neutral, you're not out just for yourself.
Yeah, I think you are.
I don't think you are. I think that's evil is out for yourself. But this is a
Neutral
This is
is sort of like, for me personally, would be like you hold your own like relationships with certain people or like interactions that you've had personally, but you have no greater overarching like care for humanity.
The way that I see it is
Yeah.
that so on the axis of like good and evil, you have evil that is more selfish, and then good, which is more outward focused.
Selfless.
Yeah, more selfless. Whether it's lawful, neutral, or chaotic, is more how you manifest that mentality of good versus evil. So like lawful is more focused on doing good within your code, or evil, if you're lawful evil, you're more focused on doing yourself within working within a framework that is lawful. Like you could say like a politician would be that way necessarily.
Yeah, like Darth Vader
neutral
is
has
like
no
lawful,
sense of good or bad.
Yeah.
lawful neutral.
I just don't give a shit.
So what kind of character, if there is a character who the only reason they don't harm people is because they are afraid of the law, like it matters to them that they do not go to prison or get sued or get
Probably
in trouble?
neutral
I
evil.
would say lawful neutral.
No, I would say neutral evil
Neutral.
'Cause-
See, that's
'cause-
kind of what I've,
because you're kind of you will do the evil when you can get away with it.
when you can get away with it,
Yeah,
right?
lawful neutral to me is like you have a code that you follow. It may not be society's code,
Mhm.
but you have
It
a
is
code, and that's the
code.
one you follow.
Yeah.
Like Kismet is a perfect example of chaotic neutral. She's an individualist who really doesn't respect authority, and bucks against authority and traditions. That's like perfect chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Okay.
like, yeah, like Darth Vader is lawful evil. He's
Yeah.
It's
evil,
hard
but
sometimes.
he follows.
Sometimes I want to be nicer.
No, we love Kismet.
Yeah.
Kismet is perfect the way she is.
I love Kismet in a way that doesn't lend me to die later.
I think a large started as chaotic good, or at least he put on a persona of chaotic good.
Good.
Yeah.
But he was probably always lawful neutral.
Yeah. He was,
Yeah.
and he would fight against.
Or
a
he
lawful
was neutral
appearance.
good, like for real, but then like the sort of schism and the war and his brother dying like further skewed him.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he was always completely loyal to the king. That was always like hard coded from the beginning
Totally.
with him. But yeah, he got more hardline about it after the whole breakup thing.
Yeah, I would say that I would say that Allard was probably a bit more good. I would say he's more neutral now.
Yeah, he's definitely lawful neutral now.
He's more focused on his word to the king and his way of manifesting that.
What was Hallie to begin with?
Friends, I want to stay and talk about things, but
it's
also I have to work
11:30
in the
for
morning,
you.
and so
Yeah.
I'm going to bid you farewell.
Good night.
Night.
I'm getting
Sweet
tired,
night.
and it's 2 hours earlier.
And thank you for being understanding.
Mhm.
No problem.
No problem.
See you soon.
Weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Ben, what was Hallie originally?
I'm looking to see if I had put it on here.
Because I think, honestly, I don't think Hallie's alignment's changed.
I have Hallie as neutral good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that still
Makes
holds.
sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just for Hallie. It seems like from an outside perspective, it seems like his patron told him to do X, and he went okay.
I
He
think
didn't do it to hurt anybody. He just said, "Okay, I'm taking this thing."
I don't think he even did it for his patron.
No,
He was going to do it, and he asked his patron what to do with it, and his patron said, "Bring it to me." That's what I.
yeah, I mean, you'll have chances to talk to Halabaster, I would assume, if you want it. I would think if you want to get more clarification.
Yeah, keep it a secret.
Why
for
he-
now.
Yeah, on why he exactly did what he did and why he didn't trust the king or Allard to do that.